Okay, we're recording. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Commissioners Court meeting. We've got a quorum. Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Williams, will you please lead us in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, bless this county. Father, be with us today as we do the business of Mills County. Father, bless our county with some rain and some moisture. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, good morning. We have a full crowd in the courthouse today with the jury selection, Commissioners Court's going on. And we will start off with number 2, review and act on minutes of March 13th and March 20th.
Item number 12 on March 13th. Text box. Is that Justin or is that Carlos' name?
Do what?
Is that Justin or Carlos?
No, that's Justin.
Justin. I was thinking it was Carlos. I didn't-
No, this guy's in
In Brownwood, yeah, this is Justin Rice in Brownwood.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments regarding the minutes?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Parton. We got a second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor of approving the minutes, both dates, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 3, audience with individuals. Julie, I guess we have anybody sign up today?
No, sir.
No audience with individuals. Moving on to number 4, consider an act on approving accounts payable. One item I'll bring y'all's attention, there's the jail repairs that took place, last week, some expenses there. We had the juices, septic and grease pumping out in Saba. And all these vendors did a great job taking care of our massive plumbing issue over there.
So that is also agenda item number 11. So we're gonna pay those at the same time. I mean, we approve.
It should be considering act on, accepting payment or reimbursement for those plumbing costs.
Well,
So that was the representing manager at risk when we built the facility. James Box, the lights and plumber. And of course, guy helped out, got there and found some issues that weren't up to standard that should have been done during construction. So I reached out to the architect and he reached out to the construction company for Sadalco. And they called me and apologized, said that they will perfectly take care of all the bills. We sent them photographs of all the stuff. There was some fittings, I guess they missed gluing and then wasn't embedded with sand and stuff like that. And they're also gonna pay for all the landscaping to be redone and that for the generator and stuff. So basically, she put it, or she said we have to pay it. and
No,
then
we
have
don't
to-
have to, that's the way I'm. Never know when another company is gonna say they're gonna do something, not do something, and I'm not gonna leave you being able to do is not do.
So, yeah, so what you're, is if you say that, you're saying that you accept all. I mean, that there's no other problems, right? Is if you accept that check. Am I right, Gerald?
Well, you got two different issues. You got paying for her and problems, which is one issue. It's not necessarily related to the other one. The other one is accepting something from the prior contractors, basically in settlement with the claim that's not active for effective work. Those are two separate issues, and I think they both need to get approved.
So you approve paying the payment.
So we'll just approve the paying the payables and then that's, okay, I just,
That's why the ones in the pay.
Yeah,
that, okay,
When I get the check, I'll bring it to court to accept it because it's anything over above 250, I have to bring to the court to accept.
so that resolution is not in the
I
packet,
can
so,
tell you.
okay. Okay. But, and that
There's no resolution.
bill got, what that we're talking about, Judge, is about $6,000, is that right?
yeah, guy just walked in, so 5,500, 6,000. We hadn't, and I don't know if we had a figure on the landscaping yet. How much? And does that include the landscaping too? Does that include the landscaping too? No, it does not. Just plumbing and repairs. Okay. 56.95.
The landscaping, they have already contacted, company out of Brandon direct.
Okay.
That way we don't have to go through this mess again. They're gonna send the landscaper and they're gonna pay the landscaper for them
Okay.
to make the.
Okay. Good deal. All right. All right. Any other
I
questions
got
on?
a question on
Yes.
page 7. Road and bridge, it says road and bridge for Brazos trailer. Road and bridge don't have a Brazos trailer.
It's precinct 4.
But it says,
On your credit card bill, Jason, is that one?
Yeah, it's Brazos trailer parts. It went on that other trailer.
Yes.
It's Brazos trailer parts. It's not for a Brazos trailer.
okay,
It's that solenoid that went out on
That's just the general.
the Dura Hall trailer.
okay, well, I was just trying to figure that out.
Yes, and so that was the cheapest place we found it. We actually found it online for over $1,000. And when I called Brazos, they said, "Oh, yeah, we got it for."
What cylinder was it?
That cylinder
Oh,
that lets the bed open.
Oh, okay,
It wasn't, sometimes it opened, sometimes it wouldn't.
Right.
And then it wouldn't shut all the way.
yeah, we had to do that on it a little road dump one time. We
Yeah,
got it up our Abilene, and it was
anyway, that's what that,
expensive. Okay,
it was on my card, but it was for that other trailer.
well, I was just trying to,
Any other questions?
The only one I've got is, it's just more of a note on the R&R fuels that y'all get diesel for the generator at the sheriff's office. You know, for that generator. When I was checking on fuel, that R&R fuel is not treated fuel, so it won't mess the summer, but it's not for the winter, it's not treated. So it doesn't gel up, so I just gonna make note of that when you get it from R&R, so.
Right, and also the council of governments that have put in contract and.
Take care of it.
Somebody to come by and service the generator regularly.
Yeah.
So hopefully we won't have to worry about that.
Well, I was just gonna make note, because I checked with them earlier, so, yeah.
Yeah, no, agreed.
So,
Okay.
Well, I got one more.
Yes, sir.
There's a Guardian RFID on page 9. Middle of the page. It's $4,861.50. We just paid this in February, so we're paying it again. From the sheriff's department.
Yes, we're going to pay it out. So there again, we have funds either in the commissary account or we can use asset for this.
So how many more payments of that do we have?
Maybe one more, but I'd have to go back and look at the invoice.
I've got two in my system and this will be the third.
So probably should be the one more thing. I'll have to go back and look.
Okay,
Well, in Commissioner's Court, we only approved of the one payment. I didn't realize, I mean, maybe did y'all also notice that it was more than one payment or did? I'm asking y'all down here.
I don't know. I don't remember.
She says there's better. This is the third.
You know, this, yeah, I mean, or the fourth one? Just the third or fourth?
This
Just
is-
check.
Thought they did it to the first ones, they got a commissary trust, I don't think that. But I don't know,
So the last one to be paid out of check. Correct?
yes.
Yes,
This one's put in the fund, sure.
this one's coming directly out of your account.
That may be part of Melissa not understanding,
Do you want it out of 59?
so we can check it 59.
I think that's what I mean, it's two different accounts and that it's a red flag, so,
I didn't
okay.
tell her, she probably didn't know.
Get it changed.
Okay,
I
so
mean, yeah,
Summer, do we need to do anything? You're just gonna make the change in your office?
Yeah.
Okay,
is it, that's a lot of money, it'll drop your account real quick in that regular
I
account.
had to check 59, but other direct and criminal assets anyways, but it doesn't cost a taxpayer.
Hey, that's all my questions.
okay. Anything else on accounts payable, gentlemen?
Motion we're approving other than that change. of
Okay.
Sheriff's deal.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Head,
Second.
second by Commissioner Williams. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the accounts payable, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 5, consider and act on budget amendments. This is in reference to Hill Country Community Action. We'd gotten a bill, I guess it was March 6th for $5,000. What this was apparently overlooked in the budget last year, correct?
Well, after doing some research, it looks like they were not sent a letter for a meeting with Ed and I, and then with studying the letter, it looks like their fiscal year is January to December, so that's probably how I got.
Okay.
So we're in this.
And what this amounts to is $4,541, Mills County Senior Nutrition Program. $459 is Texas Department of Agricultural match. So total is $5,000.
Something that is paid every year.
Every year.
Yeah, this has been going on for a good while. So any other discussion?
There's another one. I've got one also in there. This is moving some stuff from school, from equipment to school and training because I've got several trainings that I've been to and going to, and I'm gonna run out of money in that account, so I'll go ahead and move it over, getting ready for that, but the auditor really wants us to be proactive or preactive on those accounts instead of reactive when
Okay.
we're out of it. So I know I'm gonna run out, so I'm moving it now, so.
So you're gonna do that right now too, along with this other one, correct?
And
Okay,
then doing yours, yeah.
okay. Any other questions or discussion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the budget amendments as presented.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the budget amendments. I'll second that. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Moving on, number 6 is consider an act on accepting MC Bank depository resolution, which I have a copy of that, and y'all should have that copy. As you know, we approved had a committee. I guess last month before last, we approved MC Bank as a county's depository institution. And we do have this resolution. I don't think I need to read this, signed by Mindy Hopper, Director of MC Bank. Any questions or discussion on that?
Make motion that we accept the MC Bank depository resolution.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to accept the resolution. Second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 7, consider and act on proclamation declaring April's Child Abuse Prevention Month. Y'all should have this proclamation in your packet. I'm not going to read everything. Briefly, Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation. In Mills County, we believe that children thrive in safe, stable, and nurturing families within their own communities. Each year, the month of April is dedicated to recognizing the critical work being done across our great state to meet families upstream before a crisis occurs and offer them accessible lifelines that mitigate the challenges they face. We must all work together to strengthen our communities and build localized supports that are accessible, contribute to the well-being of the entire community, and keep children and families safe and together. Therefore, I, Judge Jet Johnson, Mills County Commissioners Court, do hereby proclaim April 2023 to be Child Abuse Prevention Month in Mills County and urge the appropriate recognition whereof. In official recognition whereof, I hereby fix my signature the 27th day of March 2023. So I will be happy. I guess we need to go ahead and approve that then. I'll make a motion to approve this proclamation. I got a motion made by me and a second by Commissioner Parton. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor of approving April's Child Abuse Prevention Month, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Number 8, consider an act on 1888 historical jail proposal add-on from RG Pro Floors. Guy, I'll start this off. We added the stain to the joining floors between the fireplace and the bathroom. And there's you described it as a walkway or what between there. They had to build up a little bit.
Yeah, it's metal.
Well, why don't you come on up here, Guy, and commissioners may have a question or two for you. And before he gets up here, I just want to state, if y'all hadn't had a chance, y'all need to go by and look at this. It is really looking good, though. 1888 jail. And before I forget, Guy, we propose sometime we do a little open house for everybody, just so they can see this. But it really looks good. Everybody's done a great job.
Great job on the floors.
Yeah.
It's actually called a sally port, a little metal sally port. Well, the entrance that goes between fireplace room and the bathroom, there's about a 4-foot square and it's got a metal frame. They charged, the add-on that was not included in the original proposal. So they had to pour some filler in it and level some stuff out. So it was $200 for that. And then $350 for the stain instead of just refinishing it as a natural wood because it just wouldn't look good at all.
Yeah, this is in y'all's packet. You want to see the grand total is $550.
Correct.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Burns?
So why did it come up for a change up on that? Or why didn't they figure that the first time around?
That was something that I'll take that one. Because I did not see when we discussed refinishing the floors, I didn't take them. I thought you just stand them down and put a varnish on them. I didn't know you had to stain them also. And what he did is after they sanded them down, they just did one little spot and it was real light. It wouldn't look good at all. And I had 2 or 3 other people come in and look at it and then it was agreed they needed to stand.
Yeah.
We matched the window frames and baseboards and everything else.
Okay.
But that was a pretty exciting on my part.
All right. Any other questions?
I make a motion that we accept the add-on bid proposal for the 1888 historical jail from RG Floors of $555 or $50.
Yeah, $550. Okay, a motion's been made by Commissioner Williams. Second's been made by Commissioner Head. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor of approving the add-on, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Guy, thank you. We may need you for something else in a little bit. Moving on, number 9, consider an act on accepting the Texas Commission Jail Standards Report. Sheriff Hammond, we got the report in our packet. Looks like everything's going good at the jail. Come up here and give us a report, please, sir.
The commission has changed a little bit on these. We used to do unannounced on-site inspection.
every year. So they've since changed that. The smaller jails and other jails that are not a existing problem or recurring problem, violations, stuff like this, so. Thankfully for our staff and stuff, we fell in that category where we'll get one on site every 2 years so far. And then the other one was just basically a phone interview and faxing some records for scanning them, and then they signed off. So
Good.
kudos to the staff for staying on top of the paperwork and like all that. Put us in a whole different category.
Which is interesting, it's March the 2nd, and I think the plumbing problem broke like 4 days later.
Thank goodness.
Well, I know there's a lot of paperwork y'all have to go through on keeping our jail up to standard, so,
Don't get worse after budget's closed.
okay. Commissioners, any questions?
Make a motion to accept the special commission on bill thing.
A motion's been made by Commissioner Wright on accepting the jail standards report. Second's been made by Commissioner Williams. Any other discussion? All those in favor of accepting the commission jail standards report, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 10, Sheriff Hammond, discuss pre-ordering / purchasing sheriff's office patrol vehicles.
This is something else that's changed. We're dealing with the car manufacturers that build the first responder vehicles. So what has happened now, they usually open the window for a build out, the Ford, Chevrolet, all these manufacturers. So they'll open the window, probably May, July, somewhere, but you'll only have 3 weeks or so. And during that open window, you have to put an order in for a build out. And once that shut off date closes, you're out, you can't order it. And then the build out probably won't be to a year, circling back to the next open window. So we're gonna need 2 pro cards, but we're gonna have to order them during this fiscal year. We're gonna have to pay for them in the next fiscal year. Does that make sense? Because if you don't, even if you were to order them in the next fiscal year, they're not gonna be here until the next fiscal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's over a year out.
They're running here.
Yeah.
So did they give you an estimated time if you pre-order them now, when should you expect delivery?
Absolutely not.
No idea.
And you budgeted this year for
No.
2 vehicles, didn't you?
No, there's no budget for vehicles this year.
No,
All right,
Yeah,
Thought
there's
there was.
not any for this
that's
year.
why I'm saying the upcoming budget, we need to ensure that that money's there if we place this order.
That's
Now-
what I was just, yeah.
I thought.
If we
I
don't
thought
pay,
that was
I can assure you there'll be a standing line for somebody to purchase.
If you back out, yeah.
If we back out, yeah, they will be on the lot.
And Clint, you told me these vehicles should be trading in 175,000 miles or
Well, no, that's. One of them we have right now is at 185.
185,000.
We try to cycle them at 120 to 130, just because they're driven pretty hard and
Sure.
run a lot of hours.
Okay.
And what is it, they'll don't the city of Gulfway every so many years pitch in on a vehicle?
I don't know how that, they used to, well, they supplied us lump sum that goes toward salary and equipment and stuff of that nature. I don't know how.
These pay for half a deputy, I thought.
It used to be they did. Judge Falk, if you remind me, but I think it was, they did like a vehicle and then they just combined it all into just a lump sum, right?
Yeah, originally it was split between vehicle and salaries, and then over the years, it's just.
Yeah, yeah.
Lump
I
sum.
think that's what y'all are coming.
Okay.
from. I think,
Whatever the sheriff used.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we appreciate City of Gulfport on that. Okay.
What were you saying, Robert? I'm sorry, we interrupted. you.
I thought on the last budget deal that Ed set some there.
No,
So
there's nothing in there, and when I looked at it, there's nothing that says, so,
Oh, okay.
for this year. But I completely agree with getting a pickup, but getting it ordered.
I don't know, I refer to Mr. Hell, I don't know, now if they're gonna have to have another meeting for considered act of pre-order.
Well, I'm a little bit confused on this, maybe summer, yeah. Basically, you're talking about spending money that's not in this budget side. So, I don't know how you do that.
Well, you don't pay for it during this budget.
Well, if you're gonna order it, you're bound to pay for it.
Next year, that's why I'm telling them. You need to ensure that that money there to go through this next budget,
But
I mean, that's not the way government works. No,
It's a tricky.
if that's the way this budget operates, then they need to change their process and need to find a way out. It's all of it.
That's right, I don't think you have to pay anything up front, or if you do, it's like $500 deposit, is what I've seen in the proposal. But the tricky thing is when you go to spending money before you make next year's budget, you don't know what your tax base is, and then you don't know how that's going to affect the rest of it. It is tricky, I don't know what the right answer is.
and so when is our window?
Then it's not in the budget.
but the window's not open yet. I estimated it to be anywhere from May to July.
So if we did table it to find out this information?
No, that's fine, it doesn't have to be that.
Okay, well,
And if you did order, you said you weren't committed to it though? Or,
No.
you might be,
You'll buy.
you're doing a contract, so.
Because every now and then people back out and they'll send an email blast out if you do, what you've got left. And by the time you go to respond, they're already.
Yeah, what I'm hearing, I think it's best we do a little more research in
Is
this
this through the
procedure.
Bible or tips or something, or is this?
Well, the past one, it doesn't have anything to do with the Bible or anything. The last ones that we purchased was through the Sheriff's Association. And,
Which may be an approved.
It's an approved, it's
Standard,
approved,
that's
yeah.
something
It's also on tips or something
else.
like that.
it basically now, it's all with Ford and Chevrolet are the main manufacturer.
And again, the pre-order month is always April, May now.
I say that, that's what it has been.
Okay.
Recent years.
Yeah, I think we need to do a little more research on
Now
this.
that I said that, probably November,
Yeah,
No, it was February.
yeah.
I think we might want to table this and do a little more research, just make sure we do everything like we're supposed
Whether
to.
none, it's just
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on this.
yeah.
I said it doesn't have to be done today, but we need to figure something out.
Well, I'm glad you brought it to us so we can figure out the best way to approach this.
Yeah.
And we need, I'm two, right? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Two. And the procedure, again, you said it's usually every other year you purchase these vehicles? Usually?
Yeah, well, it's gonna. Before it was that way, but we haven't had any money budgeted for this. in quite
Okay.
some time, so we fell behind. So by the time you get these two in, probably gonna be two behind again.
Okay,
Used to, we kind of bring it out.
okay.
Used to, they weren't so difficult to find.
and it'd take a year to get them.
So they used to have all three built, set in line. They don't do that anymore.
Okay. Any other questions on this issue for Sheriff Hammonds? And we'll bring that back up next Commissioner's Court. Okay, number 11, consider an act on plumbing repair invoices resolution for the Law Enforcement Center. Clinton will take this
What we previously
stated.
does, but she doesn't have to.
I did not put this on here and there's no resolution. The resolution is when I get the check, I bring it to the court to accept.
I think we can just skip that one, because like when the money comes, that's when you need to have the action.
And I believe there's a,
Wait. Now, this was explained to me, and I don't know anything about it. There was a plumbing issue at the
Uh-huh.
jail. And it was gonna cost $5,000, whatever, to fix it. And somebody contacted the contractor and the contractor basically agreed to write a check to the county for $5,000 for the contractor's potential liability on
Yes.
something having to do with workmanship plumbing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, then the court needs to approve and he's offered to do that. And I get the feeling that we've agreed to accept that.
Well,
So that needs to be approved by the commission before we do that.
I will wait until we actually have it funds in hand.
Well-
People can say a lot of things that they're going to do, but they do it.
And there's
We
three,
don't want to sit around holding the check either.
there's a guy coming up here and there's three vendors involved, correct, Guy? 3 or 4?
I've got an email from Jared Hicks, said the check is in the mail, I received it on March 22nd. And I'm supposed to let him know when it's received, so I had to address it, so,
Does it say how much?
no. I'm good.
It has not been.
The amounts that we discussed, and I talked to him on the phone, and that we discussed $5,625.
Okay,
That was with the three vendors. Juice Pumping, R.R. Williams, and James Bond. That did not include landscaping and,
That check would be from Sedalco, right? Not from.
correct.
If y'all wanna go ahead and accept receiving the funds, I'm fine with that.
And
And then I will just put it, I will pay it out today out of his lines, and then when I get the check, I'll reimburse the line.
reimburse those lines in the budget.
But if we don't ever get, if the check don't ever make it, then what?
Our bills will be paid. We have to fill up their bills.
I don't know, but I'm saying, you said we approve receiving it, but if we don't ever receive it, then what?
Well, if we propose to accept that amount of the check, and release claims accordingly, we don't get the check and we haven't released it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, neat point.
I think we need to approve the agreement.
Yes.
It's just a verbal agreement. Can we approve a verbal agreement or?
Okay,
Pending receipt of the check.
okay. Any other questions, discussion?
I make a motion that we approve the agreement with Sedalco to reimburse the plumbing repairs for the invoices presented to them for the law enforcement center
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams. Any other
on the
discussion?
receipt of the check,
Okay,
if you'll add that to it.
Is there an amount of the check?
Well, roughly 5,000 something.
$5,695. Okay, motion,
Plus landscaping.
No, it's
That's-
a separate.
Yeah,
separate deal.
They're doing that directly to them, cut us out of the lead. So
Okay.
we'll remove this again.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to, on the plumbing repair invoice resolution for the law enforcement center. Okay, a second's been made by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion? All those in favor of accepting the resolution, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on, number 12, discuss EMS contract and EMS dispatching services requested by Mills County Sheriff Hammond. Go ahead, Sheriff Hammond.
Well, I think most of all, you probably won't be an issue coming down, that contract, I believe expired. I believe it's
September 30th of this year.
So instead of waiting until the last minute, guess we need to start researching other services. What is I had, another or in Lancaster, and I reached out to Mr. Hopper about that contract over there, and I emailed him. His response was afternoon, I'll review what you sent. That was in February. And I got no response. If we signed the contract, I guess. Didn't review it or whatever, and then. I guess Wesley Alexander, I thought, was our. County contract, I called him during that time as well. Left him a voicemail, got no response.
I don't think he's with our. I think he's over Land Passes and Land.
Worked out.
I don't, yeah,
I don't.
the guy that's here now, is Dana. Dana something,
Allison,
Allison.
Worked out. That's it.
that's it. Well, regarding I did reach out to them regarding asked a question about the contract with Land Passes. I was told their volume is just considerably larger. That's why their contract's what it is. Zero, yes. Just population, so many more calls. Well, Sheriff Hammonds, did you have any suggestions on EMS servicing?
Well, in the past, service that operates in Brownwood, I think service in Gatesville is considered or wanted to be considered in the past, and like anybody else, and that's not to say that Hamilton can't make that same bid or approach.
Sure. Well, I think we'll all,
I think everybody should be looked at.
I agree. And I think we will be doing our due diligence in the next few months before this contract and see what is best for the citizens of Mills County. I've got some information on calendar year, January the 1st through December 31st of last year with Hamilton EMS. For Mills County last year, there's 840 calls for Hamilton EMS. And then transports was 707. So roughly 840 calls last year, which averaged about 70 calls per month with Hamilton EMS. And that's again for calendar year, January the 1st through December 31st. Now, of course, I don't know what all the commissioners have heard, but since I've come in as county judge in August, I've had zero complaints on any problems with service on Hamilton County EMS. I don't know if anybody else has had any issues, or I know anything else going on. Sheriff Hammonds, have you?
I think we've beaten a dead horse. We get into that again.
Okay,
We've had issues of connection with staff, there again, the email, no response, phone call, no response. Now we have, who I thought was the there, and then somebody else, so.
I think the biggest thing that's about is the bid is online to make sure that it's done correctly. These people, same thing as the RFP for security, you have to backdate it, or like a date contract, you have to make a timeline of when those things happen. And you have to do so many advertisements and stuff, and that ends up in your office.
sure. And again, the contract ends, as Sheriff Hammond stated, September 30th of this year. So
So
I'll,
I have to give them.
Sure, sure. So we will start looking into what our choices are. And again, I want to assure the people of Mills County, we want to have the best EMS service that we can. It's a needed service, and we'll do what we can for the folks in Mills County.
Well, I've been covered up with call well, because prior to him, everybody bought their helicopter insurance from company in Brownwood. So now people call up, well, which one do we get? I'm like, I just trying to get both.
Okay,
I don't know any other response.
okay.
The only thing I didn't know when we were going through all that before is some of those helicopters are pretty lightweight as far as capacity. And I think the one at Brownwood like 225 pounds or something like that. I mean, it's not going to carry a very big person, you know.
Well,
I didn't know there was that difference, but evidently there is a huge difference in size of helicopter.
yeah, and I think if you discuss with competing helicopter agencies, they're gonna tell you one's better than the other one. Of course, I'm sure the information you're getting from Todd, which he prefers the other helicopter service over the one in Brownwood. So, and I've got that same song man before, so we could probably bring you some information.
Well, I've heard that from even Brownwood, you
Yeah.
know, that their airflight is not a large capacity like this, you know, so. I mean, but
There are some individuals that might need a beauty
Yeah. Yeah.
To get them up in the air.
But I mean, I think personally, when, with it coming due, we gotta look at all options, but I think we've got a little background and more information going in on stuff like that, or the fact of ground service as opposed to, you know, air service and where the patient's at, how long it's gonna take to get a helicopter out there as opposed to getting on the road.
Right.
But I mean, theirs is coming due in September, but I think we've got to start looking, everybody's got the right to be. You know, so-
Yeah.
It's if we put it up for bid. That's what he's asking. us to put it up for bid.
I would think their contract.
Everybody had the right to bid, but in my position, I have the right to who I want to work with. But we're gonna do it democratically as best as we can, get through this, but there's still a lot of work to do.
I mean, we gotta get a bid every time we go over $50,000, you know, I mean, why would we have to bid on EMS?
Well, we do, yeah.
Yeah. 60 days notice, bid process, and selected a company before July 31st, because that's when your 60 days notice happens. But then you have to back up the timeline on when you have to advertise, how many you have to give them, if you have to do a walkthrough, if you need to talk to clean, all the stuff. So basically, we're almost behind the eight ball.
Sure. We need to get to work on it ASAP. And again, cost and service, I think, are the two priorities we got to look at. And we will look and see what options we have. And Sheriff Hammonds, if Hamilton County is the one the commission court decides, we still do the dispatching or? Okay,
On that aspect, we've already got a lawyer retained, so we'll have to go with that.
okay. Okay,
Those Mr. Cox on the line, but he's not here. I should say something.
all right, any other questions, commissioners, on this matter, discussion? All right, Sheriff Hammonds, thank you. Number 13, consider an act on new EMS building. Guy, you want to come up here and you probably got a little more knowledge on this. I just want to say it's been a great group effort with commissioners, Guy, vendors, especially on that plumbing leak. Sheriff's Department, it's just a great collaboration with everybody. And go ahead, Guy.
Quick update, all the electrical and plumbing roughing is completed, sheet rock is on site. They'll start sheet rocking tomorrow. The AC will get started this week, air conditioning, and we did find out there was an issue if we can get it up, if it's gonna be able to get it. If they can get it in the ceiling, and they will be able to get it in the ceiling, so we're not gonna have to build a closet for it or anything, so. Also, the doors are on their way. And at present, we can now secure the building. So all the doors are locked except for 2 doors and the keys are hidden, and I'll discuss that with y'all.
Okay.
Time.
And the framing's pretty well all done, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Looks good. I was in there last week. I don't know if y'all had a chance to go by. It really looks good.
Yeah, the interior walls will be insulated for sound. We're going with the 2x2 drop ceiling. And once the ceiling's in, we'll do a walkthrough check for sound. I think it's gonna be quiet enough. If it's not, then we as a county can put in static insulation and see it too, or maybe over the bedrooms or something. But I think it's gonna be quiet enough. Everybody will sleep.
Okay.
Just depends on how loud somebody snores.
Yeah, right.
But it's looking real nice. They're making good progress and
They are, we have, like I said, I believe it'll be completed by August.
yeah.
I guess before we get too far along in our money situation, we need to start thinking about
Landscaping.
parking lot.
Correct.
You know, and see how much we I guess after we make our final payment to them, start getting some bids together on what we're gonna do on the parking lot.
Right.
That needs to be the next step to me, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the backside we can do that as a county if we're running, but if we are gonna pave or something, that needs to be done by somebody.
Well, yeah. Mark Dow went to a training in Brownwood, right, Mike? Early. And he got several good cards and contacts, so we can reach out to them, so.
I mean, I think we can do a lot of the groundwork, but I don't think. we can
Also,
pave.
basic IDIQ, they provide landscaping and that also they have people too, the commissioners working.
That they will do the
They-
parking lot.
Yeah.
Same.
The road coming up to the EMS, that city,
It's a city street.
And,
Why is it named then?
we named it, but the city never accepted it as a city street. And they won't accept it as a city street unless we meet all their criteria. But they did name it, and it is on their rolls that they named it, but they never did. They never accepted it officially in the city's council.
What are some of their
It's a
criteria?
dedicated public street, it's just not a city maintained.
Okay,
You can't make a city maintain something.
okay,
It is a dedicated public.
Anyway, but you have to curb, you gotta put curbs on it.
Okay.
And I don't know what else they require. I don't know.
okay.
To be honest with you.
Why can't you just paving that street and just
Money.
Money.
well, but still, I mean.
If it's a city street, I don't think we should use
In the
county
city
money.
of Gulf, way they operate is that they've always made the landlord pay for it. Then they would maintain the street.
Yeah, once, if we get it up and pave it and curb it and all that, then the city will probably accept it.
Right.
But
But
they're
they
not gonna-
never would accept just the, I mean, the landowners have to pay for it.
I think we need
They
to
take
do-
over. That's why it's always been handled.
The only other thing that, keep on the radar is, bringing in fiber. We have to do a horizontal drilling. Bring that fiber down, it comes in right in front of law enforcement center, right on the front corner there where it turns down the drive. So we'll have to run it down there.
We need to do that before
Or
they
to come in the back.
Big good idea.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Anything for the EMS building to Mr. Burns? Or discussion?
Consider that.
Yeah, consider an act on new EMS building. What do we need to act on?
Nothing, we just take.
Nothing, right now, we haven't had any add-ons,
Okay.
we're still we're on target for the same price.
Okay.
In this proposal, so, we're looking good right now.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Guy.
Sure.
Moving on, number 14, consider an act on selling precinct 1 scrap material. Commissioner Wright, go ahead.
What that is that the court approved this metal as scrap, and it is scrap, it has a value to it, and it's not surplus, so what I'm doing, I'm informing the court, I'm gonna take it to the highway metal or brown iron metal.
Okay.
Get rid of it. That's what I'm asking the court.
Now, wait a minute.
It's surplus if you're gonna do that. Scrap goes in the trash.
Right.
Anything that has any value is either surplus or salvage. I suspect.
Yeah,
it's
this
from
says
salvage.
Okay, we need to change.
It's technically the
Can we change that right now, County Attorney Hale? Okay, we'll make a notation on number 14, where it says scrap.
It's in mine says surplus.
No, that's the next one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're gonna change that from scrap, you said, to salvage.
Salvage.
Yeah, let me give you just a little quick recap.
Every time.
Surplus means whatever it is still useful for the purpose it was intended. You got a cattle guard that works just fine for a cattle guard, you just don't need it.
Mhm.
Salvage means it's not good for the purpose it was intended anymore. You got a cattle guard that's torn all to pieces. But you can still sell the metal from it.
Yeah.
So that makes it salvage.
Okay,
And then scrap is just crack.
Sure. so we need to make this salvage then, correct? Okay. So number 14, we're gonna say, consider and act on selling precinct 1 salvage material instead of scrap material. Okay? Made that correction. Any other questions, discussion, commissioners?
I make a motion that we sell this as salvage. Precinct 1.
Okay, a motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to sell the salvage material. A second's been made by Commissioner Porton. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on, number 15, consider and act on declaring a 15-foot cattle guard as surplus. Jason? Commissioner Williams?
So we took out a cattle guard and put in a larger one. This has several busted pipe across it and it's rusted out on the bottom, but it could still be used. I mean, if somebody wanted it as a cattle guard there, if not, nobody wants it later, we'll declare it as salvage and get rid of it. So,
Okay.
Do we have some price on
no, I don't, no, it's just surplus right now, so it's just gonna sit there in the yard.
it?
Okay.
But I've got another one that we're probably gonna declare next court as salvage.
Okay. Questions, discussion?
I make a motion to approve declaring a 15-foot cattle guard as surplus.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams. Second's been made by Commissioner Wright. Any other discussion? All those in favor of declaring the 15-foot cattle guard surplus, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. 16, consider and act on updating Mills County Road Access Policy. This is in reference to our workshop we had last week. We had a very good workshop. Lots of discussion. Commissioner Williams, you want to take this?
Take one back. You got one? There's another.
No, we got one.
Anybody else?
No.
Everybody's got one.
After that, I'm back in Roberts. You don't mind.
Okay.
We'll wear that one out.
So, in the workshop that we did this last week, we went in and there were several discussions, if y'all remember, either to do away completely with putting in the entrances and installation of these access to these properties, and then just having contractors do it, or do it, change the wording on that. So if you'll go to the page that has materials on it, you can see where it's highlighted. That highlighted page, that's everything that I went in and changed from the previous one. The property owner, it was already worded this way at the top, shall furnish all materials. All I did was underline all materials. Down on the installation, we went from if you remember, it said that this was the preferred installation and then the alternate installation. And so I created 3 bullet points there, kept the same verbiage. Y'all wanted to say what was a regular or a standard culvert, so I added 30 foot to that.
That's the least it can be, correct?
Well, the standard is a 30 foot, yes. This is all subject to change because we didn't vote on anything. All we did was discuss in that workshop.
That's what the.
And so we can change any of this or whatever. We don't have to vote on this today. If y'all want to take this and read it, or if y'all want to make any changes, these are just changes that we talked about in that workshop. Also talked about the price of installation. You look on number 1, the 5th bullet point, it says the price of installation is subject to change based on staffing, weather, schedule, emergency road work, and equipment status. Commissioner cannot schedule installation for blank weeks. So only a few wording with changes, as you can see, that first one, price of installation. Item number 2, the contractors list. And it's on the last page of what the names that y'all gave. Now, in the original one, it says if the list is maintained by the commissioner. So I don't know if we actually have to approve the contractor's list in this court. It just says a list shall be maintained by the commissioner. So whatever y'all want to do there.
Like y'all can do by the commissioner.
Yeah. Something that the county clerk told us was that third bullet point there was inspection. And that inspection is required before covering the culvert. Contact precinct commissioner at least 5 days in advance before arrange the inspection. The extensions, if you want to add it, the county will not do. Those actually come off of the septic, some of the wording off of the septic, putting in septic tanks and stuff like that. And she was the one that, was informed us of that. So the last page was also off the septic tank. The authorizations to construct an entrance is valid for 1 year from the application. After 1 year, a new application and fees are required. Again, that's off the septic list.
Okay.
Jason,
So it's whatever y'all want to do. Y'all can take this back, work on it, and then we can bring it back to court or whatever. Yeah.
Commissioner Head, go ahead.
we, up on permits, so we also removed, existing.
Yeah, it said to revise any new entrance and existing. Yeah, I forgot to highlight that. Yeah, but this says new entrance.
Yeah.
The other one said existing.
Existing, so we took the existing out.
Yeah, just about 2 pages of changes. I still want County Attorney Hale to look everything.
I mean, he can review this, but that's, if there was something else that I did not change or y'all wanted to, we can discuss it here. It's just whatever y'all want to do, but that's what y'all come out of, or that's what we, not y'all, we come out of the workshop stating. And if y'all want to do that list on the back, I mean,
I think the list needs to remain open.
yeah, I mean, you're gonna have people from
Yeah, maybe,
Brownwood, you're gonna have people from Hamilton.
I think that list, I agree, needs to be open because there's gonna be people from other counties we really don't know about around the fringes of Mills County.
I mean, that's just a list that the commissioner can keep in his office.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna do that, we need to get phone numbers and business names and if they have a business.
And that probably wouldn't be bad.
Only problem about the list that I still see is you're recommending someone. If they do a shoddy job, then it's,
Well,
Not if you give them an open list.
Yeah. There may be eventually 10 names on the list, just say choose.
You know, and main thing is that the commission goes out there and checks it prior to it being covered.
right.
So if it needs to be scooted back or
Yeah, I understand.
commissioner needs to tell the size.
Right.
You know, and if you go out there and they say, well, we're ready, and you go look and say, no, they're not.
Then they're not.
Okay.
but I don't know if you want to change that 30 foot to 20 foot. That's, I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
I think 30 is standard, but that's not saying that you're not gonna put something shorter in there. It depends on the situation.
I agree, it's a standard, but it gets to be large, not small.
No, I mean, if somebody's got a 10-foot. Somebody don't have room to put 30 in there, then you. Do 24 or something like that, and it's not necessarily, it just kind of, 30 foot was kind of basic what the price was on.
The only thing we hadn't been doing, we have not been charging for the material.
Right.
kind of figured that in the 1,500.
Well, I mean, but if you're reading that on the top, it says now they're in charge of all materials. All you're doing, the $1,500 is basically your labor and equipment to get up there and get it done.
And I did talk to Sonny and ask him what a standard, you know, tin horn
Yeah.
would cost for them to put it in. Of course, he said, well, it depends on the situation. He said anywhere from 20, 30, 2,500, so we're really not out of line. You know, because you're 1,500 plus the price of the tin horn, plus the price of materials, so you're. They may save a little going with the county and unless get the proposals not to put them in at all.
It's just whatever, we can take them completely out or we can still put them in.
We had to compare apples to apples. To me, we're looking at a regular driveway off of County Road and I'm building with subdivisions. And it's totally different. And it has to be, up to me in order to make the width, and the diameter of these tin horns to be acceptable to the county. That's the reason I'm looking at two different things when y'all say a 20-foot or 15-foot category going into a place. It could be on somebody's private place. But on a subdivision, no, they're building 30-foot entrances.
Again, it says in
And
there,
they're on their property.
it says it's up to the commission. So I mean, it says that and it said it in the previous one. It's up to the commissioner to accept this.
Ours is on the roadway only.
That is correct.
Yeah, what they're doing inside their property has nothing, that Sam Swan's gonna have signed on that.
But the ones that are on the road, if you choose to put them in, I mean,
It's still has to be, has to be approved by the county, by the commission. And so that's, I don't know who drew up the last one. Did you draw up the last one? No. And so. But anyway. I think we just table it for today and let y'all read it.
I'm still hearing lots
My
of discussion.
recommendations. Let y'all read it and make more corrections and we can add it for the next.
Okay.
agenda.
Let me just add that, I mean, I think it's great to have a policy that you adopt, so that anybody can look at it and see what it is. I think you gotta be very careful when you start letting a third party contractor get out into your right of way. Building improvements in your right of way. If that's what you're gonna do, then you really need to have strict guidelines of what's allowed and what's not allowed. And anybody should be able to get a copy of the guidelines and know what they can do and what they can't do. If you're gonna let a third party contractor do it, I think it needs to be pretty specific. I mean, TxDOT lets third party contractors do work on the highway, but they keep a tight thumb on what they can do and what they can't do. And it's still about the list of contractors. I don't know that that's a good idea either, because I mean, if you're saying you use this guy, well, then you're kind of setting yourself up for liability if you put it up. So maybe you should have some guidelines on what contractors would have to do to get approved, bonded and insured. Et cetera. I don't know. But I think if you're gonna let third party contractors work in your right of way, you need to get pretty specific on the guidelines, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying I think we need to be pretty particular on what you will allow. It needs to be, so that it needs to be some sort of ascertainable standard, so somebody can get a copy of it and know what's allowed.
Well, we do have some in the design requirements, there's some in there, but, we also talked about it at that workshop of maybe putting the requirements that we have for the subdivisions entrances in there too, because it goes really, right, but it's still an approachment.
Right.
It's still
I mean, we're talking about county roads.
yes, we're talking about that, but I'm saying the wording that it has to be so many inch tin horn, it has to be so long, it has to
Fit
be
it on the track.
the slope and all that other stuff.
Okay, Commissioner Williams, did you make a motion to
I
table
make a
that?
motion to table this so everybody has time to review it and make changes.
Okay,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, if the road is gonna have a ton of traffic, then you don't need to have different guidelines on what kind of tin work to be put in there. And opposed to just one house entryway.
okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to table the Mills County Road Access Policy. Commissioner Parton had a second. Is there any more discussion for anybody? Okay, all those in favor of tabling this to the next meeting, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 17, Commissioners' requests and reports. Commissioner Wright, go ahead.
We've been cleaning up our precinct yard with, our precinct yard. We've been told that Tech Dot's fixing to start delivering some material out there, so we've got it all ready to go for Tech Dot. We've been cutting brush on County Road 411, 410, 427, 429. We returned the brush cutter to precinct 2 for County Road 220. We've been blading 403, 442, 306, 507. And also I took Judge Johnson on a tour of the Rolling Oak subdivision also. And that's all I have.
Commissioner Head, go ahead.
As far as me, we worked on 249, went up, we did that mile the other day, and then we moved up and done another half a mile in another area. We had work, guys went up there that did the digging for James, Bonnie, the sheriff's department stuff. That's a pretty good wind, had some trees fall, and so we get that up, but and working with the grinder. I took the Mac over to Kevin's about 2 weeks ago. That thing quit blowing cold air, and Kevin's supposed to do work his magic on it, I guess, and then I think Dale's going to pick it up from there.
Okay.
Yeah, reports.
Yes, sir.
Is that it? So, Commissioner Parton?
Just been blading roads.
Okay, Commissioner Williams?
Been working on all the culverts and everything on County Road 417, as I mentioned before, with the trees and running the tree trimmer over there. We removed and replaced a new cattle guard on County Road 440 and 439. It's an intersection. And for y'all that don't know where that is, that's on the other side of FM 45, the very end of the county out by Brooksmith.
Okay.
Getting a lot of new people moving in out there. Want to make note to the public and to everybody in the court. They had a meeting last Thursday at 9 o'clock at the Pecan Bayou Bridge. It will be closed this entire, well, if they can get it open sooner, they will, but it's going to be closed all week. And what they're doing, they're on the upper side of the river, they're cutting that side of the road off so they can prepare for redoing that bridge. And then they'll cut it, and then they're gonna put the cement barricades up on that side. And to do that, they've got to take up the whole road to get that done. So that'll be closed this week, but in that meeting, Sheriff's Department was there, dispatchers were there, myself, TxDOT, bridge people, and the EMS. They agreed to the barricades on the road would be open for emergency personnel only if needed to be. Once they're done and put the barricades up, it'll only be 13-foot lane there, and the red lights will go up on each side of the bridge, and that'll be for a while. So basically, they're closing it for 5 days. If we don't do that, it'll be closed completely for like 5 to 8 months. So I think we can handle 5 days. But they did inform us that they will have to come back and do that one more time when they cut the other side of the road. So will happen again in the future. Basically, it's an adds for a lot of people, it adds an extra 30 minutes of drive time. But with them being able to open the bridge, instead of 30 minutes for the law enforcement, fire and all that, it'll be, 5 or 6 extra minutes. So
What is the alternate now?
alternate route is all the way back to Mullen.
Mullen to Ridge.
Ridge and back around. Or you can go to San Saba and take 500 and turn across the swing bridge and come back.
It's a long ways.
That's where they got their detour times. I really feel like right there by Mullen School and the railroad tracks is gonna get real busy with all those trucks going across it. This week is pretty busy with us here today, but tomorrow I'll be in a workshop, budget workshop training that TAC is putting on. It's very informative and it'll be in San Angelo tomorrow. I think a few of you others might be going. And then on Thursday and Friday, I'll be helping up with the track meet like I have in the past. Actually, it's 12 years.
Eagle Relays.
Eagle Relay.
Okay.
Yeah. On the subdivision workshop, also, I wanted to add, they want to have another subdivision workshop, but they would like Gerald and Clint and maybe the JP also all be there. Because the main question that we had is, how do we enforce it? It doesn't say anywhere about if they break the rules and all that. So that was the big question. And then is there a penalties that we can put in that?
Well, we don't need a workshop, that answer. If they're violating subdivision regulations and selling lots in violation of the state statute, then it's a criminal offense. And just like any other, it's a misdemeanor. Just like any other misdemeanor, someone has to complain about it. They initiate an investigation with the sheriff's office. Sheriff's office investigated and filed a report with the county attorney. And the county attorney at that point decides whether the prosecutor. That's the process of any criminal.
Okay.
So
And so then it goes to, but I mean, if they're not following plats and they're breaking all these rules.
well, it depends on what rules you're talking about. They have to be violating the statutory rules that are in the local government.
Okay.
That basically says you cannot subdivide property and sell a lot except for the exemption without filing a plat with the county clerk's office. And it says the commissioner court can develop regulations or requirements for filing the plat. And if somebody is selling lots in violation of that statute without having a reported plat, when they're committing a plat business.
So we didn't know who's, yes, Clint.
You're saying rule violations, is this going to get in the discussion of mowing your grass, not put the flag in the yard?
This is all the installation of that will be, that's after they've taken over. This is the pre stuff, the plats and,
I just want to make sure.
yes. No, we're not getting into that. That would be the homeowners. So what
Yeah,
associates.
that's not a statutory criminal violation. And-
But-
Well, I'm gonna
For another year and a half.
Well, that was one of the main things. We didn't know.
Absolutely.
Is we just didn't know whose office that come out of and all that other stuff. But as the commissioners, we have to approve it. And if they're not, we have to go out and approve it. And if they're not meeting those requirements,
The violation is selling tracts in violation of the local government subdivision filing requirement. It says they can't do that without filing a plat. It's been approved by the county.
so the
That's
subdivision.
it.
Yeah.
That's the criminal violation.
So the subdivision that happened out there on Greg Smith's old place that was never filed on. It has never been. Right? Am I understanding? And so who brings that formal complaint? The commissioner's court?
Remember John Q. Butler,
Can the commissioners bring it before you?
anybody that was complaining.
That answer y'all's question?
No, no, not really. Because that one has been brought up several times even before I was commissioner. And you said that there's a 5-year grievance period, and after 5 years, there's not anything that can be done with that piece.
I don't remember anything about 5 years, there's a general 2-year statute in place for this.
Okay.
That applies to most criminal misdemeanors.
But then supposedly every time they sold another plot, that 2 years restart.
Any criminal prosecution is actually within that 2-year period.
So basically, they got away with it.
Well, I know it came up because somebody at one point was gonna build a house and they came into the courthouse hunting a 911 address. They didn't have one. They built the house in somebody's pasture.
A commissioner would be a good source for complaining on.
Yeah.
One of those criminal violations.
Another thing, in the workshop, we discussed all what do you call them? The exemptions. And I suggested that the exemption be eliminated except for family. That would be the only exemption. Now, that's as far as we got in the workshop.
There's several exceptions in the local government code. With selling off lots. That are allowed,
Yeah,
and family division is one of them.
there's a bunch in the new subdivision ordinances. And but some of them, I mean, it pretty well, if you read through the exemptions, there's very few of them that you can enforce because of some type of exemption.
Well,
And to simplify it, if it be within a family, that would be the only exemption. The rest, everything would have to be flat.
yeah, I don't mean to interrupt, but that's not on the agenda, but
No.
I just wanted to make note that we didn't, there's several questions. We want to have another workshop and maybe see if y'all can, I mean, because we don't know how to enforce them, basically. We're having a problem making them do what they're supposed to do.
You feel like it's a violation, you need to talk to the sheriff's office, the investigator would be a good. Source, you think? John Fincher, and he will discuss it with me and we can go from there.
Okay,
Okay,
that's it.
okay,
My point.
okay. Number 18, county judges report, as Mike Wright, Commissioner Wright mentioned earlier, TxDOT's bringing some flex-based stockpile at your precinct, which is thank you, TxDOT. Also, I talked to Carlos Reyes, our TxDOT manager, engineer here in Goldthwaite. There's going to be 800 yards of millings of asphalt in mid-April. It's going to be up on Highway 16 North, which will be available to the county. So thanks to them also. Mr. Burns had mentioned to me, we need to possibly a spring cleanup in the courthouse. I'll send an email out to all departments. If you have old computers, office equipment, we'll go through the surplus, salvage, or scrap route, see what we can get rid of. Also, if you have documents that need to be shredded or stored away, we need to start working with that. Mr. Burns also informed me that he's moving a lot of his equipment behind the community center back here, Senior Citizen Center, to the old EMS building, like the lawnmower and whatnot. He said the access is much easier to get to at the old EMS building. And the only thing else I have is we had prom here this weekend, Grand March, not prom, but the Grand March, and it's very successful and everybody looked nice, right, Summer and Miss Fincher, everybody looked good. So that's all for my judge's report. Motion been made to adjourn. Second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Everybody have a good week.